All right, welcome everybody to the channel today. If you clicked on this video, look, I really appreciate you a lot. Thank you very much for clicking on the video. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, because like I said, I got some questions I want to ask a lot of you. Like when it come to Queen Cleopatra, I've noticed that Netflix, I think it was like a month ago, had like a black woman playing Queen Cleopatra, and it caused an uproar. I mean, a lot of people were saying like, why do they have a black woman playing Cleopatra? Some people saying that she was white. Some people trying to say she was black. I'm like, what in the world going on? A lot of comments saying that, look, she wasn't black or white. She was Greek. You know what I'm saying? She could have been like, what, deeply tan or pale white. I mean, just, different things. And I see that Netflix everybody just went off on Netflix for doing that. Now, if any of you that's watching, if y'all had like questions or answers about that when you first seen that, let me know what you thought. But I noticed that over on Netflix too, they literally turned off their comments. They literally turned their comments off because I guess they were scared of what a lot of people were saying. But if you see other people comment sections, oh my God, they ain't playing about this right here. So I'm glad like I have my audience. Y'all can kind of let me know more about Queen Cleopatra. Like I said, I know little things about her, but I know y'all can probably help me out with that. But we're going to check out this video called What Did Cleopatra Look Like? Facial Reconstructions Revealed with History. Without further ado, let's go ahead and dive straight into this. Like I said, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. If you are new, I really appreciate it. And let's go ahead and dive straight in, y'all, and let's see what is being said.
Back to Royalty Now Studios, where I reimagine famous figures from the past as modern-day people. Today's question is, what did Cleopatra look like? Now, this is the subject of much debate, mostly because of her reputation for being so beguiling a character in history. I want to walk through what we know and we don't know about Cleopatra's appearance, as well as, of course, show some of my modern-day recreations of one of her statues. So if you guys have been following me for a while, you know that I have 2 versions of Cleopatra already, but I did make a 3rd that is a new version, so I'm excited to show that one. I'm crediting my research sources in the description below, so if you want to access those for further reading, you can go ahead. Also, make sure to follow me on Instagram at royalty_now_, where I post these images along with their history. So let's start with what we do know about Cleopatra. First of all, Cleopatra was mesmerizing. She was someone that could charm absolutely anyone. She threw amazing parties, she knew how to dress to impress, and spoke several languages. Her intelligence was really off the charts, and this was said to be the most intriguing thing about her. So there is one account by Plutarch saying that her beauty in itself was not altogether incomparable, nor such as to strike those who saw her. So that's a really common refrain about her, and that's, I think, why people believe that maybe her physical beauty was not unparalleled, but her charm was really immense. But Plutarch also goes on to say, and some of these are a little paraphrased, he also said she had already seen for herself the power of her beauty to enchant Julius Caesar, and that she was a woman who was conscious of her personal beauty and intensely proud of it. So he is then kind of contradicting himself, saying that she did have this immense physical beauty as well. And Dio says, for she was a woman of surpassing beauty, and at the time when she was in the prime of her youth, she was most striking. She also possessed most charming voice and a knowledge of how to make herself agreeable to everyone. So she just had such social and emotional intelligence.
Okay.
What we also know is we know about her basic facial structure. And luckily we have a lot of sources. There's a lot of images of Cleopatra that still exist for us today. So Cleopatra had many coins minted in her image that still survive today, and they all bear the profile of a woman with a strong aquiline nose, full lips, and a small sloping forehead. They all have this consistency in the way that she's portrayed. Luckily for us, Cleopatra visited Rome several times, and her likeness was captured by the Roman sculptors. Of course, there are many depictions of Cleopatra as well in Egyptian art, but Egyptian art really is more symbolic than meant to represent the specific person. However, during the late Republic, when Cleopatra was alive and visiting there when she was with Julius Caesar, the Romans liked realistic portraiture. I also mentioned that in my video about the appearance of Octavian Augustus and my other one about Livia, his wife. So their statues tried to capture the individual characteristics of a person more like a modern photograph. So even small things like wrinkles and asymmetries were captured. And I do believe they were a pretty reliable indicator of looks. Also, Cleopatra lived 2 years in Rome where she was in a relationship with Julius Caesar. So her presence was really real there, and many people became fascinated by Egyptian culture as a result of her residency. Also, she was a very visible public figure, and there were many statues of her erected throughout Rome, including an alleged giant statue of Cleopatra that Julius Caesar placed in a Roman temple, which caused quite the scandal. Cleopatra aligned herself strongly with the goddess Isis, so she would even dress as Isis in public at public parties in Rome. And Isis is essentially the Egyptian equivalent to the Roman goddess Venus. And so there were Roman statues showing her dressed as Venus with a cherub on her shoulder, and that was possibly meant to represent her son with Julius Caesar's Caesarion. Some other images we have of her are 3 possible, although unconfirmed, frescoes of her that are found at Pompeii. And they're supposed to be Cleopatra because of the Hellenistic royal diadem that's shown. She's wearing this kind of crown that was characteristic of her dynasty, as well as this melon hairstyle that she wears in nearly every depiction of her. So 2 of them also include a baby on her shoulder or a boy standing over her, which, as I just mentioned, could be that cherub or Caesarion figure on her shoulder, kind of reflecting that Venus imagery that she had in Rome proper. So there are a couple things that we don't know for sure about Cleopatra's appearance, and that is her exact ethnic background. Now, we do have some pretty good guesses and likelihoods. Cleopatra is from a really solid Macedonian Greek family. So basically, a bunch of Greeks ruled Egypt for a while during what's known as the Ptolemaic dynasty. And they're descended from Ptolemy, who was a general and friend of Alexander the Great, and they were both Greek. Over the years, the Ptolemies became quite inbred, and that's because they mostly chose to marry other Macedonian noblewomen and men. And as soon as they ran out of those outside Macedonian noblewomen, they kind of started marrying their siblings to keep the royal blood in the family. There are also some Persian and Middle Eastern blood in her line as well. The Ptolemies kept pretty clear records of who they married and their children, and that's because they were ruling royals. So they tried to record everything that was going on in their dynasty. And so most of their ancestry is pretty easily verifiable, but there are 2 blank spaces in Cleopatra's family tree, and that's her grandmother and her mother. And so these aren't necessarily like the biggest mystery or anything. There are some very strong likelihoods and guesses, but it's more just like we've never found the exact record saying this woman was Cleopatra's grandmother and this woman was her mother.
So it's hard to figure out anything.
Cleopatra's grandmother was allegedly a concubine, so her ancestry is unrecorded. It's likely that she was Greek, just because the Ptolemies loved everything Greek and kept everything really close-knit Greek around them. But this is the first blank in her lineage. So that could have been anyone. That could have been a native Egyptian. That could have been a sub-Saharan African woman. That could have been a European woman. It's totally unknown. And
wow, that's crazy. This is a lot of information so far, bro. I'm like, yo. It seemed like nobody really just knew what she looked like. They just putting up photos saying, okay, this is where she could have looked like, or this is what she did look like. They don't even know who her grandmother is. They say it could be a mistress. And I'm like, and another thing, if I can remember, I don't want to get this wrong. Please don't quote me, y'all. I'm trying to remember, because I haven't talked about Cleopatra in a long time, bro. Like, I can't remember the last time I even had a conversation about, like, just bring that up. I can't even remember if it was like school or whatever the case may be. It's been so long. But I'm trying to see, like, did she die like when she was like, I think, was it 39? I know it was before she was 40. If I can remember, I think it was before she was 40. I'm thinking it was 39 years old when she had passed. But it's crazy. It's like, don't nobody really know how she look. I mean, of course, people going to have their opinion, because you're going to have this group right here saying, hey, she was a black woman. She was black. You got this part saying she was white. You got this part saying, no, she was, you know what I'm saying, she was Greek. She wasn't really white or black. But it's crazy that how the uproar has started on Netflix about when they showed her being a black woman. I mean, it's like people was not playing around with that. You know what I'm saying? So it was crazy. So if I go here, let me look at this. Let me see. Now, see, they got like the little family tree by Cleopatra's grandfather, Ptolemy. Cleopatra's grandmother, probably a mistress. Wow. And Cleopatra's mother, very likely Cleopatra v. Tryphena, the recorded wife of Ptolemy. Man. Like I say, y'all, so far, y'all let me know like what y'all think think so far is the information that you hearing so far is accurate. Please let me know down below in the comment section, because I am eager to hear what y'all got to say about this. I've just noticed, because I meant to cover this a while back when all this stuff circulated with the Netflix trailer with the Cleopatra. So it was crazy, bro. I mean, it was just all over the place. I mean, it was on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. I mean, it was everywhere. People was not playing around when Netflix dropped this trailer. Now, I don't know if they got sued. I heard that somebody got sued for it, but man, it was crazy.
And the second blank is Cleopatra's mother. Cleopatra's mother was most likely Queen Cleopatra V Tryphena, and that's the recorded queen of Ptolemy, who was Cleopatra's father at the time of Cleopatra's birth. But as I said, there's just no record of it anywhere. Now, it would be kind of a big deal if Cleopatra...
See, it's hard. See, that's the thing. It's hard because if it's no record of it anywhere, it's kind of hard to just try to put something in place that you don't know, that you don't know about. Like, it's hard to just say things. Like I said, he said this could have been her father. Well, but it ain't no record showing it, but this is what I think. You know, so it's, it can get a little crazy sometimes, But let's keep going.
Was illegitimate, it probably would have been made note of somewhere. Most Romans didn't like Cleopatra at all, and they were also not shy when it came to calling people bastards.
Oh, God.
So they probably would have mentioned it. So I do think she was probably a legitimate queen of Egypt at that time, the daughter of the reigning king and queen. To boil it down, only 25% of Cleopatra's ethnic makeup is totally certain, and that puts her squarely as a quarter European and some Middle Eastern. And I would also consider 50% of her makeup through her presumed mother, Cleopatra V, to be fairly certain as well, just because it makes... I just think that the historical likelihood is kind of on the side of that. So that would make her 75% European and some Middle Eastern. Now, the other 25% is totally unknown as of now, and that's from her grandmother, who was a concubine.
Who was a concubine?
So, do we know anything about her hair or eye color? So, I'm going to work off the assumption that Cleopatra was 75% Greek and Middle Eastern. So, based on that, it's easy to assume that she had the skin tone of a Greek or Middle Eastern woman. And
yeah, and that's what I was saying about the Greek part. Like, she was Greek, like. But I don't know, like I said before, people got their own assumptions of what they think. So, it's kind of hard to argue, like with a person when it comes to especially something like this. Like, hey, what did she look like? What was her skin color? Who was her parents? Who was her grandmother? Was she a concubine? So it is a lot of things that go into this, man. But I guarantee you, there's a lot of you that's watching, and there's a lot of people somewhere else know exactly a lot about this woman and like, I mean, factual, because I know it's a lot of you that know some factual things about Queen Cleopatra. But I mean, so far, man, this is an interesting video. I love hitting these type of topics and checking out these type of videos, man, because like I said, these type of videos help me learn more. And y'all know I constantly say this in all my videos. I'm not afraid to say when I don't know something or I don't know about something. So I don't get mad when somebody say, hey, Adogg, you stupid because you didn't know that. Or Adogg, how you didn't know that? I don't know. I mean, I can't sit here and fake like I do when I don't, So, but people gonna have their things of what they say though, but I'm just the one that's not scared to say, hey, I didn't know. I don't know. So I'll do the same thing everybody else do, just watch videos and see what's going on,
And I would say dark hair and eyes, but there's actually some evidence to the contrary. So I've made a few depictions of her with dark hair, and let's check those out.
Okay. That's pretty the way she doing it, though. That's pretty. She look like she about 22.
Something that throws a wrench in our assumptions about Greek women, Middle Eastern women having dark hair, is that there are a couple of depictions of her with red hair that were made during her lifetime. There's many Greeks that have lighter hair. Alexander the Great himself, a very famous Greek, had blonde or reddish hair, and many Mediterranean folks do too. So those 3 frescoes from Pompeii show Cleopatra with reddish or brownish reddish hair. And there's also a small cameo image showing Cleopatra with red hair. So here is my redheaded version.
Wow. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. She's very, very talented with that. I like how she's doing this right here, because it kind of make you look like, dang, is that what she really looked like? What if it is just the way she really looked like? Wow. Wow. Oh, that looked scary.
So what did you guys think about these possible versions of Cleopatra? What do you think she was likely to look like? I just think this is such a fascinating mystery, and I would be obsessed if they were ever to find her body and able to DNA test it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please follow.
This was a great video by the channel Royalty Now Studios, man. Make sure y'all go follow them, subscribe to their channel. I'll make sure I leave the original video to this in the description, man. This right here was amazing. This was amazing. Wow. That's all I can say about that. That right there was amazing. And then there was another thing that I seen on Google. So it said that she was the queen of Ptolemaic kingdom of Egypt from 51 to 30 BC. And its last active ruler, a member of Ptolemaic dynasty. She was a descendant of its founder, Ptolemy, Macedonian Greek general, companion of Alexander the Great. So, okay, I see it now. She was born January 69 BC, died August 10th, 30 BC. Wow. That's the reason why, and that's crazy. That's why I said I do remember they said, was she like 39 or something like that when she passed? That's why I was like, please don't hold that against me if I'm wrong. But I knew, I'm guessing that it was before she was like 40 years old, you know. But like I said, y'all let me know more about it down below in the comment section. I will be reading the comment section. I had to bring y'all this video because like I said, I seen a lot of people talking about it. And then I seen on the internet how everybody was in uproar about what happened a month ago when Netflix dropped the trailer because they made Queen Cleopatra black. So, you know, I'm just eager to hear what y'all got to say about it. But I want to thank you all for watching. Y'all can definitely help me out in the comment section by leaving comments. Say, hey, dog, this is what she look like. This is what really happened. Because that's what I'm looking for. Please help me out. You know what I'm saying? But if you did make it to the end of the video, I really appreciate it. You staying here this entire time while I'm trying to learn. And y'all helping me out. I appreciate it. Until next time, I'll catch y'all in the next one.